What's up, y'all? It's that Sports Kid here with my 2023 Oregon State Beavers college football season predictions. Let's get into it. Last year, Oregon State went 10-3 with a big win over their arch rival, Oregon. This year, their season odds, the win total over under whatever is 8.5. Lots of players return to this team, including 8 offensive starters and 5 defensive starters, and 2 Beavers were drafted in this past NFL draft. The recruiting class ranks in at 53rd, and the transfer class ranks in at 61st. The 2 4-star commits, true freshmen, are Aiden Chiles from down in California, plays quarterback and is a top 10 quarterback in this class, as well as a top 10 player from California and a top 60 national player. 6'4", very tall. Hopefully he'll be a good player for them. Kelsey Howard is the other 4-star. He is a defensive lineman from Vegas, top 200 player nationally, and the second best player from Nevada. Along with those guys, 18 other 3-stars help make up that 53rd best recruiting class. The transfer portal is interesting. We have DJ Uiagalelei playing at quarterback. He's transferring in from Clemson. At Clemson, he got beat out by Cade Klubnik, the true freshman. Never a good sign when you're an upperclassman and you get beat out by a freshman. But he is still a solid quarterback, so he transferred out to Oregon State, where he thinks he's going to get some solid playing time. There could be a bit of a quarterback battle, though, between Uiagalelei and Ben Gulbranson. Let me know if you're an Oregon State fan, who's going to win that battle in the comments. Along with him, Grant Stark transferred in from Nevada, plays offensive tackle. And then Calvin Hart, who should start, plays linebacker and is transferring in from Illinois. There are 6 total transfers in, and 4 of them should start. My personal ratings for this team, I'm going in an 8 out of 10 on offense and a 7 out of 10 on defense. Quarterback room should be pretty solid. The running back should be the best they have been in a while. Receivers are pretty deep. The offensive line has a ton of starts together. 109 combined total starts, which is a very important statistic. Defensive line should be pretty good. Linebackers, they have 2 returning starters there, and then the defensive backs should be pretty good. Here's the schedule. Schedule difficulty gets a C+. It's nothing too crazy. You play a pretty standard Pac-12 schedule. No great out-of-conference games. We started out here on the road, interestingly enough, at San Jose State. SJSU is not great. They could be getting better in the Mountain West, but I think Oregon State should win that game by a solid score. In Game 2, the Beavers play Cal... wow, I should totally know that. They're the Aggies. I know that much. FCS, so either way, they should totally win that game. Then they play San Diego State at home. Should be a close-ish win. SDSU, pretty good. I should totally know that FCS team. That's not excusable. Yikes. Then to start Pac-12 play, they go out to Pullman, Washington, and play the Washington State Cougars. I think they should get a close-ish win in that game. It's sort of a rivalry. I think they should win. Yep, then they head down south. Nope, they stay at home, actually, to play Utah, which I think will be a close loss. They're playing the back-to-back Pac-12 champions, and there are a lot of players returning to Utah, one of the most experienced teams in the conference, and I think Utah might get the best of them. Have they played in back-to-back years? Yeah, played in back-to-back years. Oregon State won one of those games. They might actually play every year. They played every year since 2019, and Utah has won 3 of 4. They'll probably get another win against the Beavers this year. Then we have Cal. Good old Cal. You suck at football. And even though it's on the road in Berkeley, I think Oregon State should just dominate in that game. Next, they play UCLA. Good old Bruins from Southern California. I think this could be sort of a toss-up. UCLA is probably going to regress from last year, and last year they were like pretty decent. But I think UCLA is going to get a little worse, and Oregon State is going to have a good chance in this game. And in fact, I think they are probably going to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if UCLA pulled out a victory in this game. 5 more games left, and we have Arizona. Arizona is very interesting. They are definitely improving from the suckage that has been Arizona football recently. This game will be on the road, and Arizona will be off a bye, but I still think Oregon State will get a win here. It might be like a 5-point win, or it could be a 25-point win. I could see Arizona keeping it close. Their team is definitely getting better. But right now, on paper, I think Oregon State wins this one. 4 more games. Colorado is the next team with good old Deion Sanders. On the road at CU, I am going to say it'll be a close win. I think Oregon State just is a better football program this season than Colorado, even with how much new talent they brought in Boulder. I think Oregon State should get a second win in a row. Then they come back home after a 2-week stretch on the road to play the Stanford Cardinal. Should be a big win. Stanford and Cal are kind of competing against each other at who can be the worst football team in the Pac-12. Oregon State should win that game pretty solidly. It had a great ending last year. Maybe it could this year, but I think Oregon State, at least on paper, should win this game big. Finally, last 2 games of the season, they close out against some of the better Pac-12 teams. One of them is Washington, which I think they could keep it close with, or close against. I'm going to say it's a toss-up, because Washington heads to Oregon, heads to Corvallis, and Oregon State somehow is like 12 or 13-1 in their last couple home games. Sort of interesting statistic. They should keep it close. In the end, I think Washington probably wins by just a little bit, but it should be a good game. And then finally, we head out to the Civil War. That's the name of this series, Oregon and Oregon State. This game will be played in Eugene. Oregon State pulled off the upset last year and in 2020. But besides for those 2 games, Oregon has won a good majority recently. But because Oregon State is actually getting better, I think they will keep it close at least. Heading on the road. That leaves Oregon State's record at about a 9-3. They should win all the games in the big win category and the close win category for 8 wins, and then they should win at least 1 game in the toss-up, maybe 2 for 10 wins. I just said one game in the toss-up category for a final record of 9-3. If they're going to beat one of those teams in the toss-up, I think it's going to be UCLA. That is pretty much it. That's all I have for today. Oregon State looking to stay about the same or improve a bit. Don't quite know. We'll have to see how it plays out. Let me know if you're a Beaver fan. What do you think about this team? How are they going to play the season? And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, peace.